ओम गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। फोर्थ एंड फिफ्थ। नूनं विमुष्टमतयस्तव माययाते ये त्वां भवाप्यय विमोक्षणमन्यहेतोः अर्चन्ति कल्पकतरूं कुणपोपभोग्यम् इच्छन्ति यत्स्पर्शजं निरयेऽपि नृणाम्। या निर्वृतिस्तनुभृतां तव पादपद्मध्यानाद्भवज्जनकथा श्रवणेन वा स्यात् सा ब्रह्मणि स्वमहिमन्यपि नाथ मा भूत् किन्त्वन्तकासुलिला कासि लुलितात् पततां विमानात् किन्त्वन्तकासि लुलितात् पततां विमानात्. So you're entering into the next two bijaksharas. Om Namo we saw till the last week. Now Bhaga. Om Namo Bhaga. So fourth verse, Nunam Vimushtamatayastava Mayayate. So how did the third verse end? Third verse or the third verse he spoke about was Maya. त्वद्दत्तया वयुनयेदमचष्टं विश्वं सुप्तप्रबुद्धैव नाथ भवत्प्रपन्ना. So the second verse was on Maya. Bhayakhya yoru gunaya mahadadya shesham. That is the second verse where he says you are concealing everything to Maya. And then the fourth verse is kind of in a way introducing the it's telling us that those who are caught up in this Maya come to you asking you for smaller things. Nunam vimushta matayah. Vimushta matayah means those who are deluded. Tava mayaya, through your Maya, te ye tvam bhavapyaya bhava apyaya vimokshanam. So those who are coming to you, tvam, you, who is the liberator from the bhava sagara, vimokshanam. You are the liberator. To you, these people who are deluded by Maya, they come to you and they ask for what? Anya hetoho. They come for other motives. See, it is like in Mukunda Mala Stotram we saw, Bhagavan is called as Mukunda. Moksham dadati iti Mukundaha. One who gives you moksha. So you go to him and you ask for riches. You ask him for prosperity. You ask him for so many other things, except the thing that he is best at giving. His name is Mukunda because he gives moksha. And you go and ask him Anya hetoho. For other things you go. Anya hetoho archanti kalpakatarum puna upabhogyam. You go and ask this kalpataru, the wish fulfilling tree, you go and do archana to him and ask him for those things that are going to decay. There is going to be kshaya in it. For such things you go and ask him. Yat sparshajam, which that yat sparshajam, which means sense objects, the pleasures of the sense objects, icchanti niraye api nrunam. For human beings, it is even available in hell. Such comforts and pleasures are also given in hell. So basically, the after Dhruva is in the second verse, he is saying, I want moksha or I'm experiencing moksha with you. Om Namo. He is now looking at how, to such a person, he sees there are people who go to this person who's able to now deliver me. He's able to liberate me. To such a person, so many people go with lower desires. So many people go with lower desires, and he's kind of baffled. Why would somebody come to you who can give liberation, moksha? You can give the ultimate freedom. Why do people go to you asking those things, that which they, even if you don't do worship, don't do anything, they go to lower worlds also, they will get this, right? My father, whenever he walks into a branch, all he will want to is to go and withdraw 10,000 rupees. Simple. You go to the of course, those days it is, the branch was still very manual, and physical cash was handed out, right? He has to walk in, write a withdrawal slip, challan அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, withdrawal slip, indicate his account number, indicate the amount, sign, go and stand in the line, give it to the teller. Teller will give the cash. That's all. But he will not do that. He will go directly to the branch manager. He'll walk into the branch manager's room, and he'll go there. Ah, sir, eppadi irkeenga? How are you? This, that. He'll exchange all pleasantries. He'll talk very nicely and all that. And the branch manager, in his mind, he's thinking this, some big man is coming, going to deposit 2 crores. And the feeling. உள்ள போயிட்டு, சொல்லுங்க சார், ஹவ் கேன் ஐ ஹெல்ப் யூ? இல்லை, எனக்கு 10,000க்கு ஒரு ஐ வாண்ட் டு வித்ட்ரா 10,000 ருபீஸ் அப்படி. அதுக்கு என்கிட்ட ஏன் சார் வந்திருக்கணும்? அங்கேயே போயிருக்கலாமே நீங்க. You didn't have to come to me for that. There are people sitting out there to do that. But he likes, because you go into the branch manager room, they'll order some chai, coffee, something. He'll make you sit, feel comfortable. And for the intent that he goes in, that will also get satisfied. He'll go in there and he'll also say that, Inga Vapa, he'll call up you, or whoever, the branch manager, and they'll hand off the withdrawal slip. But the point is, the branch manager will say, why do you have to come to me for this? This is a transactional thing. And there is a whole governance and an organization that has been set up to enable these transactions. You don't have to come to me for this. So Dhruva is looking at such people, and he's looking and saying that, why do people go to Bhagavan for these things? You go to that guy who's capable of doing so much more, and why are you asking him petty things? The problem is not asking petty things. The problem is we don't know what else to ask. Our minds are petty. The way we think, the way we see the world, the way we look at life itself is petty. Right? We worry about the next thing that's going to happen. To worry about, what if I don't get the thing that I'm working towards, aspiring for. The mind keeps worrying on petty things. The mind keeps getting trapped into transactional things. It is getting trapped into transactional things. The biggest realization that is most important is that the mind can operate in transactions, engage in transactions, but not getting trapped. You have to do transactions to live. You have to engage in the world. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says there is not a single moment that you can sit idle. You will not be able to. You have to engage in transactions. The problem is we get stuck. If I'm doing this, that outcome has to happen. If I'm doing this, then that needs to happen. If I'm going there, that needs to come to me. This continuous conflict and fight that we carry in pravritti. Mama's named is Nivasa. Well, that is also Mama, Mummy. They are devout bhaktas of Srinivasa. So, so the word Nivasa has come out beautiful. So this nivritti, so that pravritti is also a marga. In Shastras, it is recommended as a marga also. The nivritti is you renounce physically, you renounce and then you go towards taking a form of sannyasa within you. Pravritti is you engage, but you still look up. You continue to engage with the world, but you still have your dhyana on the highest ideal. The problem is we get stuck in pravritti. We are like, most of us, see, although we look at Duryodhana as a very evil character, Mahabharata, he is not. He is not an evil character. He was bound by some of his mental constraints very, very heavily. He was bound by them. And he was not able to liberate himself from it. So he says, right, Krishna asks, or somebody asks him, why don't you know so much dharma? So he says, I'm not able to follow dharma because it is not in my pravritti. Janami dharmam. Janami dharmam. Nachame pravritti. Janami adharmam. I know what is adharma, but I am not able to leave it. I am not able to leave it. We are also stuck in that. Now, the important thing to note is we are not as strong as Duryodhana in anything, right? His name was Duryodhana is because it is impossible to defeat him in battle. See, the whole Kurukshetra happened. He had to be killed by cheating only. Millions of people died, right? So many Rathis, Maharathis, Adirathis, but he could be killed only by cheating. So it is almost, he is almost impervious. It's difficult to defeat this person in Yodha. He is such a Yodha. In Yuddha, difficult to defeat him, which means such a strong man. So we are not that strong in anything. So our pravritti is also not that very deep rooted. So it is easy for us. It's relatively easy. There are people we have seen who are suffering their own mental conditions. I know I'm trapped in this, but I don't know how to come out. So Dhruva Maharishi is saying that in a way, he's saying that, oh Bhagavan, when we come to you, we should come to you in bhakti, in devotion. But I come to you not in real devotion. Although we say that today I am going to Bhagavan in devotion, we don't go only in devotion. We always go with a transaction to Bhagavan. Transaction is for the world, not with Bhagavan. You can have transaction with Bhagavan in a transcendental realm, in a realm where you have transcended all of this, and there you're having a transaction with him is a different place to be in. But we are not there yet. We are still transacting in the world. This is most important for us. And then I go to Bhagavan, I cannot demand and ask and all that. I have to surrender only in bhakti. It's too big. I may go to a branch manager, as in this example that we spoke, he could still make the challan, the guy do the withdrawal for me. But assume I go to the CFO of the bank. He'll be so far removed from the teller counter. He's not going to keep cash till on his desk. So if I go to the CFO office of the bank and sit in his room and ask him 10,000 rupees, he may not be able to release it because he's so far removed from transaction. He's the one who enables all of that. He is the one who enables. So in the world also, we know why do we go to some people for what? We go to this person for that particular reason. We go to this person for such a reason. In that way, Dhruva is saying you go to Bhagavan for moksha, for his grace, for anugraha, not for anything else. Because other things you will get anyways. Archanti, you keep worshipping. Icchanti, you keep desiring. For what? That which is available even in hell. In hell means what? A life which is not spent in the in um, in a realm of higher thinking or a realm of deeper contemplation. A life that is not spent in deeper contemplation, even such a life, you get these things. There's a verse in Ishavasya Upanishad, which one? The third one. Asurya namate loka andhena tamasavrataha tamste pretyabhigachanti yeke chatmahano janaha. Asurya namate loka andhena tamasavrataha. These people keep going back and back again and again to nameless worlds, godless worlds, worlds without light. Asurya namate loka. Andhena tamasavrataha. The ones who are blinded by ignorance, blinded by tamas avrataha, yete preti abhigachanti. They keep going back again and again as a preta, which means lifeless forms. They keep going. Pretyabhigachanti. Yeke chatmahano janaha. The Upanishad says such a living is equivalent to doing atmahanaha, killing yourself, atmahatya, suicide. So life that is lived without the thoughts of Bhagavan, without the thoughts of divine, without inner contemplation, without deeper silence within, if you live a life of constant noise and constant action and constant engagement with the world, such a world is no less than hell. Correct? Such a life is no less than hell. And in that hell also, you will get all of these things. That is what Dhruva is saying. When you're living a life where you've got no Bhagavan, you've got no meditation, you've got no contemplation, you've got no silence, peace, you continuously just engaged. Such a life also, you will get the same things that you are now going and asking Bhagavan. So he says, in a way, pointing out. He's pointing out, don't do that. He's a Kalpataru. Kalpataru is wish-fulfilling tree. The Kalpataru, you don't stand under a Kalpataru which can give you the highest benefit. Don't go stand there and ask for petty things. So what is the direction or instruction for us? Instruction here is not so much about what should you ask. I should go to Bhagavan and ask. Dhruva is not saying anything. Go and ask him. What? He is saying you are asking him things that you can get even in hell. So it's for you to think what you want to ask him, because who is he? He is the giver of liberation. He is the one who gives liberation. What do you say here? Bhava apyaya vimokshanam. Bhava apyaya vimokshanam. He is the one who gives you vimoksha from bhava, bhava sagara. So to such a person you go, you figure out what you want to ask him. I am just pointing out. So it's not so much about asking here. So the instruction from Dhruva here is how do we create a way of thinking, a way of living where my mind is not driven by these petty things. I am not drowned. Bhava, samsara, bhava, the other name for bhava is samsara. And samsara is always referred to as samsara sagara. Bhava sagara, ocean. And we remain drowned in it. We remain drowned in what? Pettiness. That is why we are not able to look at the world with open eyes, bright eyes, and say, wow, today morning Surya came so beautiful. Not dramatizing the thing, but feeling it inside. Yet another beautiful day. We saw this during Venkateshwara Suprabhatam, right? Every morning, we get up with that joyous feeling, or there is a drag, there is, ayo, yet another day. Right? Ayo, yet another day, I have to deal with another day. What do you mean you have to deal with another day? This is the problem. We carry so much within ourselves. We think the whole, my family, my mother, my father, my this thing, everything is sitting on my shoulders, on my head. That is why we do yatras. We say drop everything, come sit, silence. ஒன்னும் குடி முழுகி போகல. தமிழ்ல சொல்லுவோம், ஒரு குடி முழுகி போகல. Means nothing in your life has come to a standstill. Nothing முழுகி as in nothing. குடி முழுகிறது means to essentially your life, your livelihood, your family has not drowned. It is not drowned. You go take a break, what happens? Sun TV Tamil serial மாதிரி தான். ஐயோ 4 days I didn't see, but you go pick it up after the fourth day. It would have அப்படின்னு அதே மாதிரி வரும். Dishing.
Same auntie would be standing, same saree, just turning her head.
She would have been turning her head like this. ஒன்றும் சேஞ்ச் ஆயிருக்காது. லைஃப்ல அதே மாதிரி தான். You think, ayyo, what will happen? This is why there are times of silent sadhanas are taken. Very important. Nochur Swami in one talk, he says, this isolation, this going into some form of reclusivity, some form of isolation once in a while is required for everybody. Cut off, go into that silence, and then you experience what is the experience of nivritti, right? Where you drop, because dropping needs to happen once in a while. We need to continuously, and because it's many ways it is cleansing also, because there are so many things that we carry without our knowledge. See, here in Dubai, when a vehicle is standing outside our house, you would have just washed and brought it. Next day morning, you'll suddenly see a layer of dust and sand and all that. You've just kept the vehicle like that. It starts accumulating dirt. You have to continuously keep it clean. Cleansing needs to happen. It is not like, oh, Varshatula Oru Darava, I go to Tirupati, Balaji, I stand in a queue for 2 hours and I do Archana for him, I do Kalyana, whatever the Tirupati, what is that? The Kalyana Utsavam ticket and all that, right? I pay 50,000, 1 lakh, Kalyana Utsavam I do, and then rest of the year I'm just a wretched person, right? Running around here and there. That doesn't work. That one day, a few hours at Tirupati Balaji, whether you've given 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, whatever, that is not enough to cleanse you. You have to continuously keep this cleansing process going on. So, this isolation, we need to come to, we have to go and find that isolation and sit. Now, what happens then? Then the mind starts processing things differently. Mind comes out of the pettiness a little bit. See, why this sadhana is required is so that you come out of the pettiness. You yourself start thinking, you know, it's really not, I am, even in my absence, things are happening. Right? Even in my absence, things are happening. Even when I'm not there. Yes, whatever, there are disturbances and all that will be there. But yes, to recognize in a gentle way that things are happening. So when I come, I do what needs to be done. So essentially, this whole verse is about rising ourselves above the pettiness of thinking. Yeah. So he says, Nunam vimushtamayatas matayastava mayayate ye tvam bhavapyaya vimokshana heto archanti kalpakatarum tarum kunapopabhogyam icchanti yat sparshajam nirayepi nrinam. Deluded by your maya, there are those who worship you. You, who is a liberator from birth and death, not for liberation, but for smaller ends. Treating you like a wish fulfilling tree, like a Kalpataru. They seek pleasures meant for this perishable body, pleasures that can even be experienced in hell. Right? Hell is not always entirely. No, it's not like Kumbhi Pakam and those things. Garuda Puranam. எந்த படம் அது அன்னியன் it is not always you're fried in deep fried in oil and all that, right? Hell is where you experience all of this, but you experience pain in an intense way. And we experience it here living. A lot of people experience that. We experience pain in a very intense way. That is Kumbhi Pakam for you. You are being fried. This is hell. So he says, do not just be motivated by the pleasure of the bodies. So bha, he says, to become bhakti. Now this is where he's affirming bhakti to be aimed. Bhakti that we develop should be for liberation alone. Otherwise, it is not bhakti. He is defining bhakti for us here. He's saying, don't think that you're going to Mukunda and asking for bhoga. Right? Mokshadaini. Mokshadayaka. He is going Mokshadayaka and you go and ask him for bhoga. He says that is not bhakti. Then don't call it bhakti. It's not devotion. Next one he says, Ya nirvritihi tanubhritam tava pada padma dhyanad bhavajjana katha shravanena vasyat sa brahmani swamahi manyapi nath mabhut kintwanta kintwantakasi lulitat patatam vimanat. So he says, the bliss that comes from the meditation on your feet, on your lotus feet, Pada Padma, or by listening Shravanena, let that not be replaced by the pleasures of even Brahmaloka. Why? Because even there, here Brahmani here is not the same meaning of Brahmani as in um, um, Moha Mudgara. What is that shloka in Bhaja Govindam? Uh,
Yogaratova
Yogaratova, correct. Thanks, Mama. Yogaratova, Bhogaratova, Sangaratova, Sangavihinah. Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chittam. Nandati, Nandati, Nandatyeva. So there also Brahmani is there. But that Brahmani is Brahman, not Brahma. That is Brahman. The one whose heart is resolved into that supreme consciousness. Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chittam Nandati, Nandati, Nandati. He remains in complete bliss. Here he is saying, I don't want the Brahmaloka also. The Brahmani in Brahman, in Brahma. Here in Brahma means Sa Brahmani in Brahma's realm, Swamahimani api. I don't want that joy that is arising from Brahmaloka. Because there is so much of fulfillment. See, here you have Ya Nirvritihi, supreme joy, deep inner fulfillment. Tanubhritam, devotees. Tava Pada Padma, Dhyanat. By meditating on your lotus feet, Bhavat Jana Katha Shravanena, or by listening to Katha, Bhagavat Katha, Bhavat Jana Katha, which means of the devotees, the stories of listening to the stories of the devotees, or listening to the stories from devotees about you. The joy that comes, Bharamani Swamahimani api, Natha Mabhut. It's not greater than the joys of Brahmaloka also. Antakasi, Ikintu Antakasi Lulitat. Because at the end, everybody has to fall. From where? The Vimanat. From there, even if you go to Brahmaloka, death comes and you have to fall down from there. Patatam Vimanat. Assuming you're going into Brahmaloka in Pushpaka Vimana, from there also you have to come down. See, the important thing to note is why, where are you falling? How is death happening to that? Brahma also dies. You have to remember this. In Bhagavatam, there is a clear mention that if you consider Brahma as the Saptaloka, the greatest place to go, there from there, the Brahma who is now ruling this particular universe that you see, that Brahma has a span of life. And which is why the whole visual that is given is from Narayana's Nabhi Kamalam, or the lotus that comes out of his Nabhi, on that is Brahma sitting, and he does the Srishti Karyam. At the end of his time, he dissolves back, and a new Brahma is created. So remember reading from Yoga Vasishtha also, right? There are these young scholarly boys who go and experience so many Brahmas. So Brahma is not a Nirantara Sthana. That also has a time period. It's just the time period from a human being standpoint, it's extremely large. But yet it is finite. So he's saying, please let us go to that Bhagavan's lotus feet. Let us go to that lotus feet which is born out of this devotion. And this sense of nivriti, nirvritaha. Nirvritaha, which means you are, there is the joy of renunciation. Tena tyaktena bhunjitha. The joy of renunciation is a supreme joy. And we experience that every night when we go to sleep. குளிர் காலத்துல, this nice weather, the weather is so nice. When we go off to sleep, we don't want to get up in the morning. It's not an easy, the getting up process is not easy. It's chill, cold. You want to pull up your bed sheet and sleep for some more time. Why? Because there is so much joy in renouncing. We don't see that really. We think that, oh, I have to sleep to get up to manage this world. We are seeing sleep as a tool so that I can now get up again and then I have to face this world. We don't see that our joy is not in facing the world, our joy is in dropping the world. Intrinsically, that's how it is. The joy of renunciation is far greater than the joy of getting anything. This is a truth that we have to see for ourselves. As we grow older and we've acquired, I've got this earring, that necklace, this shoe, that watch, this house, that car, all of that I've seen over and over and over again. And I come to a point where I realize that the joy is in dropping all of that. And then there are higher desires also we hold on to. See, it's easy from a conversation to say, don't hold on to possessions, things, and all that. But also people. We do that with people. We do that with emotions. We do that with our society. Right? This possession is not only of objects. The possession is of my image. The possession is of my what I think I want to be seen as. See, whether a saint or a sannyasi or a raja or a bhikari or a poor man goes to sleep, they all go into the same tamasavrataha. They go into the same state of complete ignorance, renunciation. That's important. Of course, the saint would be, we go into avidya, a saint will retain vidya, even there. But the place is the same, which is the karana sharira, where there is no identity of this body and the mind. A saint or a sannyasi or a raja or a bhikari, all of them, or you, me, all of us, we go into the same place of dropping of identity. So why don't we remind ourselves that? So Dhruva Maharishi is saying that this nirvritihi, the supreme joy, is available only in Nivritti Nivasaha. It is only available in Nivritti Nivasaha. எல்லாரும் கோயம்புத்தூருக்கு போலாம் மாமாத்துக்கு. That nivasa has to be found here. That renunciation within, I find that place of residence within me where I have dropped everything. And when I go and sit there in my nivasa within me, I go and sit and I find that place of complete renunciation. My children, my husband, my mother, my father, my work, my boss, my this, my that. You'll find times where you drop all of that because we anyways do. The important thing to note is you anyways do. If you are not able to drop and you have not been able to sleep, then you have become a psychotic. you become a lunatic. You'll have to be admitted to the hospital. Correct? If we have not been able to sleep well, then definitely we require medical assistance. Because intrinsically we want to drop things. It is only when we are conscious we want to hold. The exercise and the sadhana is, can I drop it while being conscious? Right? I drop it while being conscious. In my conscious state, I take a resolution now, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, I want to drop everything. Somebody asked Ashtavakra, to whom Janaka used to go. Janaka Maharaj was he was called Raja Rishi because he lived in a state of complete understanding, realization, and yet he ruled as a king. Ashtavakra had some form of bias towards him because he was such a great king, but yet such a humble, simple devotee. So he would come and sit in his discourses. All other disciples of Ashtavakra, the great guru, it could be either Ashtavakra or Yagyavalkya. But the important thing of the story is, because Janaka appears in many places, sometimes it's said it's probably not the same Janaka, there were many Janakas. Right? We don't know. But the story is that this Janaka Rishi or Janaka Maharaj used to go, and then people used to ask, why do you give him special attention and teach him so many beautiful things? And then he says, let me demonstrate this to you. So disciples are all what? They're brahmacharis and such people, or they live in some meager living, whatever. This one day there's a satsang that is happening. Ashtavakra is delivering the satsang, and then he tells one of the sentries, because he's a Raja, he always comes with a couple of sentries. Before that, he informs the sentry to stage a drama, to come and tell that the palace is on fire. So comes, says that I'm sorry to intrude, the palace is catching on fire. But Janaka is focused completely, Atma Dhyana. He is listening to his guru, is listening to his acharya. He is in complete absorption. He does not he doesn't pay attention. So disciples are worried. Disciples don't know about this drama, right? They're worried. Oh, because they're also sitting in the same place, right? And then slowly, every 10 minutes, 15 minutes, the sentry is coming and saying, oh, the fire is coming in, coming in, coming in. And then they create commotion to say, a lot of fire coming, we'll have to all run and leave this place and go and all that. The other disciples, they get really worried, saying, oh, you, indaluk vandirthe, it's can't be sitting here. You have to get up and run. And then they quickly go to their kutir and all that and go and collect all the belongings, and they wanting to run out. And then later Ashtavakra says, no, and meanwhile, during that whole thing, Janaka is sitting and listening, and he's in Bhagavad Dhyana and absorption. Then Ashtavakra says, see, this is the difference. He being he is being the king of this place, he has so much of nivritti within him. That renunciation bhava, the tyaga bhava that is there within him, means now he is in complete absorption with Bhagavan. Doesn't matter even if the whole palace is burning down. Right? He's not going to go and run and pick, oh, let me pick my passport, my this shares I have kept in the this thing, locker, the particular jewels I have. Of course, we have to be practical. I'm not saying we cannot emulate such things. But the important thing is, in your mind, how are you? Are you caught up with this? That is the most important thing. Understand, the actions are secondary. What is driving it? Am I getting paranoid? ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಅದು ಪಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾಡು ಅದು ಪಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅದು ಇದು ಓ we create this whole thing. So it tells Ashtavakra says, you guys have little things to hold on to and you're running and holding on to it for your life. But this man has got whole place is burning down and he is still in complete beautiful samadhi. This is important. So this is what we're talking about as a sense of renunciation that one takes to. So when you go to Bhagavan, Bhaga, today was Bhaga, right? The 4th and the 5th verses. Then you get Bhaga. There are 6 Bhagas. Why is Bhagavan called as Bhagavan? There are 6 Bhagas that he kind of owns, divine qualities. Okay, the 6 are Aishwarya, Virya, Yashas, Shrihi, Jnana, Vairagya. I'll repeat. Aishwarya, which is complete control over all resources. He's Aishwarya. All Aishwarya. He's Virya, which means he's supreme power and energy. He's Yashas. He's fame, all fame. Then Shrihi. He is all supreme attractiveness, supreme prosperity, supreme auspiciousness. Shrihi. He is Jnana. He is omniscient. He is all knowledge. He is not all wisdom. And he is Vairagya. He is supreme detachment. That is why he is called Bhagavan. See, the one who has dhana, wealth, he is called Dhanvan. The one who's got Shakti is called Shaktivan or Shaktiman. Like that, the one who has Bhaga, all these 6 Bhagas, he is called Bhagavan. So that entity we call Bhagavan because all these 6 gunas are there. The 6 divine Aishwarya, Virya, Yashas, Shrihi, Jnana, Vairagya. So these 2 verses, 4th and 5th, it can offer us Bhaga. It can offer us these divine qualities. So in the 4th, he is saying, do not go to this Bhagavan who can give moksha. Don't go and ask him petty things. Means you don't keep your mind small. And the next thing he says, go to him for this. Fall at his feet, be at his feet. Dhyana. Do dhyana, do shravana. Do shravana and dhyana. Shravana of his stories and dhyana of his lotus feet. Right? If you do that, what is not available to you? Even the joys of Brahmaloka will appear small. That is what he's saying. Yeah. So the 5th one is Ya nirvritistanubhritam tavapada padmadhyanad bhavajjana katha shravanena vasyat sa brahmani swamahi manyapinathamabhut kintvantakasi lulitat patatam vimanat. Even the greatest ones will fall. Remember this, life is very short. Life is very short. Please remember this. It is very short for ones who have this urgency of wanting Bhagavad Darshanam, Bhagavad Dhyanam, contemplation, introspection. Life is very short. Let the world deal with itself, because nobody is going to come here and do what you can do for yourself, help you. Nobody is going to help you. Remember that. You are alone. You're absolutely alone in this journey. Absolutely alone. But at the same time, if you are able to bring Narayana Pada Padma in your dhyana, then you know, I am not alone in that sense. I'm alone for the world, but I'm in his presence. I'm in his presence continuously, in his bosom, in his protection, guidance, love. But for the world, I want to be alone. It's better to have that aloneness in the world, because then this association, this attachment becomes beautiful. Right? That is Vairagya. Detachment from the world and attachment to Bhagavan. Right? So you've come to the fifth verse. Okay, so next week we'll see the sixth onwards. Om Kayena Vacha Manasendriyerva Buddhyatmana Va Prakrite Swabhavat Karomi Yatyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanayeति Samarpayami Sadashivayeti Samarpayami Jagadambiketi Samarpayami Sadgurunathayeti Samarpayami Hari Om Tat Sadgurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya